Hello viewers, welcome back. In this video, we will discuss how to add and configure analog input module. To add analog input module, go to device and network or go to PLC_1. From here, device configuration, double click device configuration, it will open device view. Here we already take 3 module, digital module with this CPU. Now we will add analog input module. Go to hardware catalog from right side top corner here. It will open a dialog that has all available module here for this module. Now click the AI folder. It will open some subfolder with AI module. Here first one is AI 4 into U I RTD TC. That means this module can be used for voltage, current, RTD, thermocouple. ST for standard, BA for basic, and HF for high feature. Or this module can be used all of them. So I am taking this module here. Now hide this hardware catalog. Now double click this module, it will open the properties of this module. So from this properties window, we can select the project information to rename the module name. From here you can rename the module name as your requirement, or you can keep as it is. Now from the catalog information we can see analog input module. It is a 16-bit measuring range and 2 channel can be used as a RTD measurement, not all 4 channel, and common mode voltage up to 10 volt, and diagnostic and hardware interrupt can be configured. And this module has no other firmware except 1.0. That's why it is gray mark. There is no option to change the firmware version. This is first version. Okay, next go to module parameter. From the module parameter, first we can see that is startup. Comparison preset to actual module. That means this option, if you have the project in your CPU and the actual module is not present in the physical rack, that time how it will act. From the CPU configuration, here we have set that startup CPU even if mismatched. That means CPU will start even this module exists or not. So this from CPU means it will take the configuration from CPU configuration. Okay. Second option is channel template, that if we select the or if we configure the diagnostic or other parameter from here, then all the configuration will set to those channel 0, 1, 2, 3. So here we will set no supply voltage L plus, overflow or underflow. When the supply voltage is missed in this module, that time this error will generate. Or overflow, when Here measuring type is voltage. So measuring range is plus minus 10 volt. If it is 11 volt, that time the overflow error will generate. Or when the measuring voltage less than the measuring range, that time underflow will generate. So when you use this option, when you use this configuration, and if the error is generated, that time the module will send the information to CPU. This CPU, then CPU will call the OB82 block. It's called the diagnostic error interrupt. If this block is not available in your user program, then CPU will stop. That means when you configure this diagnostic error, that time you have to take the organization block OB82 in your user program. This OB82 can be empty or you can program, no problem, but you have to take in your user program. Common mode error. As we know that there are two voltages in the telecommunication or the electronic circuit. One is called differential voltage, another is called the common mode voltage. And why it is called common mode? Because current direction, noise current direction is same of those both conductor. Like see the diagram, this conductor, from the plus conductor it's going to circuit, and also from the negative it going to circuit. Okay, so from the measuring option you can choose the signal type of your instrument. If it is current signal, you can give 2-wire 4-wire connection or resistor, or you can choose the thermocouple. If you choose the thermocouple, you can choose here type of thermocouple. Now present I will select it as a current. When you choose the current, you can see that there are other option is called the wire break. So when you select the wire break option, you can choose the current that when this wire break will happen, when the wire break error will generate. One is 1.185, another is 3.6. When 3.6 milliamps is found in the analog input channel, that time this wire break error will generate, or you can choose that 1.185. Okay, next parameter is called the interference frequency suppression. Sometimes we have laid our instrument cable beside the AC power cable. That AC power cable interferes the instrument signal. So we have to suppress this noise signal from the actual instrument signal. So you can choose the dominant frequency of that power supply. So you can choose 50, 60 or 400 from here. This is the frequency. There is another option is called the smoothing signal. Smoothing signal make the analog signal more stable. Greater the smoothing value, analog signal will be more stable, and this option is very useful for slow variation signal like thermocouple. You can use for this current signal also, no issue, but it is more useful for slow variation signal. Now I am using this medium smoothing. Go to input 0 to 3. From here you can see the diagnostic overview that we have used already, that no signal error can generate overflow, underflow, common mode like this. If you choose the manual, we can see from here you can select your option, you can change from here, or you can keep from template here. That means here all the setting will taken from the template. Okay, from the here from the template, when you use the from template, that means all the measuring type will be same. But you can, if you choose the manual, that time your measuring type can be changed. One can be set as a voltage, another can be as a current. But if you choose as a thermocouple 2-wire 3-wire thermal resistor means RTD. Thermal resistor means RTD. RTD can be 2-wire 3-wire. So that time you can only use 2 RTD, because this module can handle only 2 RTD. Okay, so I'm going back it to from template, because I want to use all 4 channel as a current. So keep as a from template. So next is the channel 1 parameter. All you can see from here, all the setting here. Now is hardware interrupt. You can select from hardware interrupt high limit here. You can give a, when you use the hardware interrupt high limit, then you have to give a hardware interrupt OB40, or you can create other. Okay, and even name is upper limit 1. So when the value hardware interrupt value means this hardware analog module measuring range is 4 to 20 milliamps. If the value is 20, that time it will give a hardware limit 1 value message. If you give the 21 here, you can change the value. From here you can choose your value as your own, but you can choose up to 2 hardware high limit. So you can choose high limit to high limit 1, and can be set the value from 1.19 to 22.810. So for 20 milliamps you should not generate the hardware interruption, because it is a range 4 to 20 milliamps. You can choose 21 like this. When 21 will generate, that time your overflow will generate, also hardware interrupt also generate. Okay, you can choose the lower limit also. For now I will only set the high limit, because our video is going long. So all the 4 channel setting you can choose from here for hardware interruption, because other setting taken from the template. Now here is the IO address, or you can go directly from here. You can see the hardware address, input address. Here it's showing start address 2. Here digital input address is 0 to 1. So for analog input it will take next to this, because all the input memory is same. If you choose 0 to 1 for digital input, you can choose from 2 to 3 for analog input. But if you want to take another digital input, it will take from 10 to 11 or something like this. So you have to use other address here that more than 100 or 300 like this. So because from 0 to 299 input address you can use for digital module. So all the digital signal will be from 0 to 1 serially. Okay, and here 3 dot is for organization block, it will for automatic. We can choose from here which organization block will call this analog input module. So keep 3 dot as automatic update. It will take the decision by CPU how it will call.